Okay, before I start the video, I just want to say that I don't think this video will blow up or I won't do like super well compared to my other videos. However, I think this is more of a long-term investment. I will look back into my thoughts and my mindset in this video, and it'll be very useful because I'll see how much I've changed and if my beliefs were true or not at this time, the 26th of October. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video. So I always thought that having big goals meant that I would achieve big things. That if big goals, like for example, having a big house or having a very, very expensive car, I thought that by having that as my main goal, I would do my work and work diligently to achieve my goal. But I found myself, especially more recently, being more stuck. Stuck in the sense that I'm not actually working to pursue that goal. And this is more of like maybe a interactive video in the sense that I'm going to be asking questions, pausing, then writing down my thoughts. But I thought to myself, why? Why am I not, pursuing this goal? Because I have goals, we all have goals. But how many of us truly work diligently to achieve them? So let's get into what I think. When you have big goals, okay, let's just say the big goal is to is to own a very, very nice car, right? And let's say that costs around like, okay, we're not thinking sports, like 200 grand, $200,000. I didn't realize that owning the car, I was focusing too much on the car as opposed to like the journey to get towards the car. Like all the things I would change in order for me to even be able to think about having that car. For example, I realized that your whole lifestyle would pretty much change if you're in the position to buy this car. But thinking big didn't kind of block my vision towards all this. It made me just think of the car. All right, let me write that down. All right, so big goals equals tunnel vision. And then, yeah, so, when you're in the position to get that, that nice car, your whole lifestyle changes. And then from that, this is why I've been very, very stuck in the position I am. At least one of the reasons is because, let's say producing content like this, like making these videos, obviously I'm not gonna in 1-2 days just be in the position to do whatever I want, right? And become achieve all my goals and everything. That's not how it works. But because that's the one thing in my mind, that's what I'm working towards. If it's kind of demotivating to actually produce these videos, because all I have in my mind is that main thing. And it's kind of like I have to do so much work in order to gain that, which is fine, but it's those little steps which I'm not motivated towards, because it seems insignificant now, but these videos or me constantly creating, what I'm trying to say is that there's so many steps to reach my final goal that it kind of feels pointless. And that's why I'm not making that many videos, or I'm not working as hard, and my self-improvement is kind of gone down a bit. Yeah, let me write that down. Yeah, so for a recap right now, number one is that the big goals kind of gives you tunnel vision, that you think that the big goal is all there is. And yeah, so that's number one. Number two was that the little steps seem pointless to get to that goal, because you feel like you have to, work or produce super good content which will do really well in order to get to that goal. But in reality, it's the many little steps which reach there eventually, but you want to take 10 steps at a time. But that's not how it works. And because the way to do it is little steps, it seems pointless. That's what we have so far. So the third point I'm going to say is, when you thinking big, you need a lot of discipline to, if you have a big goal, to pursue that goal. And discipline, especially in this day and age, comes really, really hard. At least for this generation and all the stuff I've seen and heard about. Discipline comes pretty hard for this generation. Like I tested that. I find it very, very hard to build discipline. And to have big goals, you need big discipline. Let me write that down. All right. So that's what I've written down so far, and I think that's what I'll end at. Yeah, so I'm not saying that thinking big doesn't lead to success. But I'm saying, at least from my point of view now that I've thought about it, obviously I'm going to critique this more later on. This is more like my initial thoughts. I actually was going to think about it, but I thought, let me make a video of me kind of thinking about it and explain to you my thoughts in real life, on real time. But yeah, for me, I believe that thinking big doesn't lead to the success, or like the success that you want or the goals you want to achieve, because it blocks your vision. Because the reality is you have to take steps, like small steps, which all accumulate to a large step. And then it's those steps which lead you to your goal. Thinking big like completely blocks that. And it requires discipline to take those even small steps. So imagine the amount of discipline you need to take those big steps, which is why the third point was big goals require big discipline, which is evidently harder in this generation with what Instagram, TikTok, social media, YouTube Shorts, like all these things, like, destroying our attention span and destroying our discipline. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Well, I'll put this in the thumbnail. Hopefully, I'll get more views. Hey, but yeah, I think that's why I believe that thinking big does not equal success, and that's the point of view I take because it applies to me. It's why I haven't been working as hard as I used to. It's because I had this big goal in mind again, but I'm failing to recognize the small steps to get towards it, and that's why I'm not doing them, because I'm just thinking of I have to take huge monumental steps to get to the big goal, and taking those huge monumental steps is hard, which is why I wasn't doing them. Alright, that's it from me. If you made it to the end somehow, fair play, well done. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'll see you next time for my next video. Thank you.